Hello my friends! After the last 3 crazy adventurous days of crossing the mountains of the Cordillera Blanca, getting lost, finally finding accommodation, almost freezing to death, I made it to La Union yesterday and today decided to get off my bike and hike up to this Inca site, the Huanuca Pampa. It is called. It's one of the best preserved Inca sites in Peru, obviously not as famous as Machu Picchu. This is a little personal vlog, also due to some stuff that happened to me yesterday and, well, in fact the last 3 days of the Gringo path. Yeah, I left the well-traveled path of Peru and am now literally in the middle of nowhere, as I said, well off the Gringo path. First of all, this shall not sound like complaining. This is just what happened to me the last 3 days and the conclusion I made out of this, which is a pretty good one, I guess. But let me first start. It's not about the Gringo situations, as in people calling you Gringo all day, every day. This is literally everything I heard. I also gave up on telling people that Gringo is actually an insult for American soldiers and that I'm from Germany and that this is far away, different culture, a sea in between and blah blah blah. I gave up on that. They don't know better, and 99 of 100 times it's not meant as an insult. I'm also not talking about the Peruvian habit of overcharging the fuck out of you. I'm used to that. I saw that in Vietnam a lot, for example, in India, obviously. In Peru, at least, people smile at you and you can haggle a little and blah blah blah. So, having said that, so far I experienced nothing but hospitality and warmth in Peru. This place has, well, has a place in my heart, definitely, as has Colombia. Then again, you do need a thick skin sometimes. And having said that, this is not about a white middle class guy trying to play the victim role here. I hate shit like that, and if it sounds like that, it is not. I chose to do this, I'm privileged to do this, and I'm grateful for it each and every day. This is what I love, and I'm very thankful that I can do this. Having said that, yesterday night in La Union, a guy looked at me, called me Gringo, spat on my feet, and then sweared at me in Quechua, and I reckon I did not get shit. So yeah, that made me think a little. I don't blame him, because he does not know better. The fact that this site here is one of the best preserved sites, Inca sites, in Peru, and I'll show you around. Look, this here is a pile of stones. So the fact that this is, there are a lot of piles of stones. So the fact that this is one of the best preserved sites in Peru shows you a little bit how sensible the Spanish conquistadores were when they took, well, when they took over Peru, their quest for gold and fame and everything. So yeah, well, this shows you what they were about. They fucking burned it down to the ground, everything. So if this country still managed to keep its heart, to keep its passion, and again, 99 out of 100 times I felt more than welcome here, of like people that have way less than me. I traveled their town with a bike that is worth $500, and they're smiling at me with 3 teeth in their mouth and inviting me to their home for food because they see that I'm exhausted. That happened 2 days ago on that 4-7 mountain pass. If they managed to do that, how can fucking we in Europe, and we should know better. I don't blame them, they don't know better, but we in Europe should know better. And in the States, everywhere where the fucking right rises, everywhere where you hear people saying shit like, I'm not a racist, but how can that be? And that is the one thing or one of the few things where I say traveling does make you better. You don't have to travel the world to have a great life or to find yourself and everything. I always thought that is bullshit when people told me like, you gotta travel to find yourself. You can find yourself in your basement or wherever, in that place you lived for your whole life. I met the most happy people that were literally just doing farming for all their life in their backyard. Whatever it is that, you know, sparks the fire in your heart or like awakens your curiosity, do it. You don't have to travel, but there is one thing that traveling does. It shows you what it is like to be exposed to something in a new culture with a new language, not knowing shit. And then you can think yourself, and again, we do this because we choose to do this. We're not refugees or nothing. We do it because it's our passion, because we're driven by something. I never met a fucking traveler that is a racist, because we know that the world is big, the world is beautiful, the world is in fact, the world is a great place, and people are fucking awesome. Like 99.9% of the people that I met traveling, and everyone else I met so far, was awesome, and like helped me, helped us, helped everyone I was traveling with in situations where we would have been fucked. So that is one thing that traveling tells you. And yeah, to all these I'm not a racist but people, fuck you. You never went out in the world. You never knew what it is to be exposed, to be called names by your skin. And again, this is a white middle class guy complaining. I'm not a fucking refugee. And I might travel the world, but I do read the news. And well, to all the Pegida friends in Germany, fickt euch ihr Fotzen. And to my FPÖ friends in Austria, like the place of my choice, fuck you. It makes me well, okay. Just some thoughts again. Peru, I love you. Sometimes you're killing me though. Well, but this is traveling, this is being exposed, and the conclusion you make. And this is why I love traveling, because it fucking changes your perspective. And I reckon for a lot of people on this planet, this would be a great thing to do. Just for a second, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Yeah, I'm sorry if that was a little too long and a little too emotional, but as you might think, this is something that really gets to my heart. So again, let me show you around. Something a little more fun. La Union is down there. It's a beautiful 3-hour hike. Watch out for the crazy dogs. I did a little piece on that too. Always take 2 or 3 stones with you. You never know. So yeah, this is it. It's beautiful, remote. Oh, there are actually 3 people, so now it's getting crowded. I was here alone for 2 or 3 hours. Well, yeah. And again, go for the hike. Don't take a car. Love you guys.